Hi, this is Pat Moorhead with More Insights and Strategy. You are watching the More Insights and Strategy podcast. I have a return very special guest, Raju Vegesna from Zoho. How are you, Raju?
I'm doing great, Pat. How about you?
Good. Hey, you're such a superstar that the first three videos we did on privacy, thousands of people have been watching that, and I looked at some of the metrics, and a lot of folks from the United States, but a lot of folks from your home country too. So,
yeah, good to see that.
Very exciting.
It's good to see that. Primarily, what we're trying to do is educate people on what's going on. And it's up to them to make a decision, what's best for them.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. So to all the viewers, where we are right now, this is the fourth installment of a privacy series and surveillance series we're doing with More Insights and Strategy and Zoho. We started off with from the consumer point of view. We then went into the business surveillance, and then we followed up with adjunct surveillance, where essentially you're being surveilled and you don't think you're being surveilled, but you actually are. And in this installment, we're going to be talking about something you probably haven't heard before, which is sensory surveillance. So, Raju, why don't you kick it off? What is sensory surveillance?
Yeah, I was chatting internally with a colleague, and all of these started making sense. So I said there is a way we have to term it. We have to explain this in a simple way so that people understand. So I termed a new term, I guess, called sensory surveillance. So what does it mean? To put it simply, surveillance companies have better sense of your senses. What are the senses? I'm talking about the sense of vision, the sense of smell, the sense of the hearing, the sense of taste, the sense of, I guess, the mood. All of these, you may not pay attention to them, but surveillance companies do. They have that information, and they are collecting that you may not notice. And that's what sensory surveillance is about, where surveillance companies have better sense of your senses.
And by surveillance companies, or these sensor, are we talking about like home automation with cameras and microphones, maybe even medical equipment?
Yeah, let's look at each of these senses, right? Let's take vision, the sense of vision. Thanks to the cameras, outdoor and indoor cameras, now all the data being processed in the cloud, they have a good idea on what's going on. What time do the kids come in? What time is your mail delivered? And do you have a dog? And now, thanks to advancements and face detection, they not only know that a person is coming, they know who is coming. So in-house, inside the house or outside the house. So they have a better sense of the vision on that. So they have eyes on you inside and outside the house. That's only on the vision side. Now, if you look at it on the audio side, well, try to buy an electronic device without so-called smart assistant. And these are all always on microphones that are prevalent in your audio systems, smart speakers, on your TVs and refrigerator, you name it. Now pretty much every device, electronic device, is connected to the internet, and it has an always-on microphone. In some cases, we have seen things like a Nest thermostat, not revealing that they even had a microphone, but later somebody uncovered that there's a microphone. So there are several microphones in your house distributed, and they're always listening to whatever you say. It's like there is always someone following you, hiding without your own knowledge. That's on the sense of, say, hearing. Or if you look at smell, thanks to the smoke detectors, to carbon monoxide detectors, to whatnot, They know what to smell for and others. And then maybe a sense of, say, taste, right? If you look at it, what you order on online systems, well, they are being delivered, and that data is collected at the back end, and you can assume that is correlated. If not now, it will be very soon. So they know your taste, be it your grocery purchases that you do online,
Yeah.
or your delivery systems out there, all the data, because advertising is the primary business model for a lot of these companies. So they sell money, they make money by selling your information. The same way, or even you can look at it as a sense of, or the mood, what show you watch, what movie you watch, what website you visit. All of these are easily determined because thanks to the routers and the DNS systems and the services that are offered. And if you collate everything together, you can say pretty much they have a sense of every single sense. That is, and we are at the beginning of it, and that is getting scarier by the day.
So I am not a very good example of the non-sensing crowd here. Now, part of it, I'm fascinated with tech, and I get more of these products than I actually should. A good example is on my left wrist, I have an Apple Watch. My right wrist, I have a Samsung watch, and then I have an Oura Ring as well. And between them, they can pretty much tell me if I'm sick, right? Because the Oura Ring has a temperature on it. I have a stress gauge, which is why I have the Samsung, because, I live kind of a crazy life and I want to make sure I've got high blood pressure and I want to make sure that it's not getting out of it. And then it tracks my sleep because I'm sleep deprived, but I'm doing these things for good. What's the flip side of what's the potential negative? Because I know there's a gotcha here, Raju, because a lot of these products we talked about do offer value, but there's got to be a dark side to this. I'm waiting for it.
The dark side is happening without your own notice. I think that's the thing. Think of it this way. If you think data is money, right? Would you be fine if vendors or other people, third parties, directly take your money without your knowledge? Right?
Absolutely not. In fact, I've got all these services that check to make sure people aren't stealing money from me, right? Yeah. Dark web services.
Exactly.
Yes.
And data is money. It is not you that is making money. It is surveillance companies that are selling your data for money without your knowledge. And people don't treat data seriously. They say, I have nothing to hide. But, there will be enough things. There are enough things to hide. And it keeps getting worse. The amount of data that you give up keeps getting worse. We are not noticing it. It's like slowly boiling a frog. You're not noticing it. After a while, it will be significant enough. And the tracking, people not knowing is a significant thing. Let me give you an example. I'm sure everyone has a smart TV. And recently I was looking for a TV, and for a TV that doesn't connect to the internet. I'm looking for a dumb TV.
Right.
Simply couldn't find it. Why was I looking for a dumb TV? Because there are a lot of TVs. I think in this case, say for example, take Samsung. Once you connect your TV to the network, they take a screenshot of some of the shows that you're watching, along with the ads you're watching. It goes to their AI engine. They do this analysis to understand what TV shows you're watching, and then push their ads onto the TV. And that analysis is happening on a fairly regular intervals, and nobody pays close attention to it.
Right.
They have your eyes on you, not just through the camera, but also through other mechanisms.
That's a great example. It's interesting. About 15 years ago, I ran corporate strategy for a Fortune 500 tech company, and I did scenario planning about the future. And what I did see this happening in the future What I thought, though, is that we were going to get some of these products for free. And one of the examples that I used was a free TV that somebody would put in your home with a camera, with a microphone, that would also be able to target ads to you, even based on the beer you might drink, the clothes that you wear, and your age. Right? You could also you basically bring micro targeting to the TV. Now, I was off. I thought it would be free versus discounted, and I actually liked what Kindle did. Amazon gave you the option with ads, without ads. What I'd like to do is I'd like to see the industry in the future with the no surveillance. Yes, I'm okay being surveillance, and for people to at least educate them on that they're being surveilled, but also and better understanding the benefit. Maybe it's $100 off as an example, and at a minimum, because I don't think any of us are saying there aren't good uses for this. I think what we're saying is that people aren't aware of it, and if you're not aware of it, you're kind of a boiling frog, and there's something wrong with that. Just the lack of awareness. And Raju, you work for Zoho, a company who's taken a really crystal clear stance on surveillance. And for the audience, can you talk a little bit about what you're doing here as a company?
As a company, we have always been, pro privacy. So our stance has been very simple: treat customers' data just like we want our data to be treated. Actually, as simple as that. So, which means we clearly say, we don't own your data, you do. We'll never sell your data, and we'll never do ads. So our business transaction with the customers is simple. They pay for the service, and we treat their data with respect, and that's about it. And we have seen a significant blatant abuse when it comes to data collection, surveillance, and whatnot. And we said we felt that there is a moral obligation to educate people on what's going on. At least if they know what's going on, they can make an educated decision on what is right for them. But somebody has to take that stance and educate people. And it is not in a lot of vendors' interest to do that for various reasons. But we felt that moral obligation to educate. And that is the reason we are doing it. Because if you take something like sensory surveillance, we don't have a dog in the race. So we don't do anything on the consumer side. But we know that there is something going on, and we wanted to educate users out there. And then eventually, whatever's going on in the consumer side, we expect it to show up in the business side as well, thanks to the consumerization of business applications and businesses. We expect it to show up. And it's important for us to educate. That's what we're doing. Like, for example, I was talking about, say, TVs taking screenshots and sending it to their data centers. Now, in a lot of businesses, projectors are being replaced by TVs. Is business information being leaked to the data centers without their own knowledge? Well, It is very likely. It's that people don't know about it. It is important to start thinking about it right now so that people are conscious about what's going on.
That's excellent. I'm instantly skeptical when I hear companies taking stances similar to yours, because I'm always wondering, well, is this just some fancy marketing thing? I've met your CEO, I've met you, we've spent some time with each other, and I'm convinced this is a cultural thing that's true to Zoho. And I talk to hundreds of companies. And it's just so refreshing to have that. So for my audience, this is real. Zoho is the real deal here. So our time is coming to an end here, but I just want to thank you, Raju, and Zoho for enlightening everybody on this idea of sensory surveillance. I got to admit, when we were setting this up, I didn't even know this existed, but it was on my wrists all the time and on my finger. And I'm an industry analyst, so I should be smarter than this. But thank you, Raju. And if you like what you heard, please press that subscribe button.